Our next award, the 2016 Safety Professional of the Year. Please turn your attention to the screen to learn about our newest winner.
The Safety Professional of the Year is awarded each year to the railroad management employee who demonstrates an exceptional work ethic and dedication to safety. This year, ASLRRA has selected Ron Sparks, Director of Safety, Training, and Legal Affairs, Arkansas and Missouri Railroad.
You have to be passionate about safety or about anything you do in life. But if you really believe and you want to change the culture, you have to have the passion to do it. And then you have to have the compassion to go along with it when you're dealing with people that may be having a serious problem at their home, an ill child, or taking care of a loved one, and they've got all these things on their mind, and then they come into work. You have to be astute enough to see that they have a problem and ask them about it. And not only ask them about that, but the next thing is the most important. What can I do to help?
A&M's operations are fast-paced and varied, including managing a 2.69% grade through the Ozark Mountains, line haul for 3 Class 1s, a switching operation, and on-site full-service engine and car repair shops.
I would say to anyone that is wondering how do you get a safety award a year with 0 injuries in this type of an environment, I would say that you get there by having the kind of mentors that the American Short Line and Regional Railroad Association provides through the Safety and Training Committee. I have several of those, and I'm very thankful for all of them.
In his first year on the job at A&M, there were 22 injuries, with an FRA injury rate of 29.77%. Over the past 19 years, Ron has systematically implemented programs and procedures with a single-minded drive to 0 FRA reportable injuries. And Ron reached his goal in 2016.
Sparky is a dedicated and committed individual. His priority is safety, and he makes that known in every aspect of all of his daily activities. He reaches out to employees, he reaches out to members of the association, he works with local first responders, so he is very involved and committed.
Under Ron's leadership, A&M has become a recognized industry leader in safety practices. Implementation of such wide-ranging technologies as an app for safety briefings, allowing for efficient briefings in the field of electronic confirmations. Video recordings on engines providing crossing collision documentation and safety enhancements, and more.
He's all in, 100% all the time. He's always looking for a way to keep the place safe, innovative ways to get people to listen and to buy into the safety culture. We've had a complete turnaround in the last 10 years. Even though he's been with us 20, the last 10 years have been a complete turnaround for our team.
He was the founding chairman of ASLRRA's Railroad Police and Security Committee, participates in the Safety and Training Committee, and has been a featured speaker at ASLRRA's national and regional events. Beyond the short line industry, Ron is active in the national as well as the Arkansas Association of Chiefs of Police and Operation Lifesaver.
If there's an incident happens on another railroad today, I would have those reports on my desk in the morning to put a flash out to all of our employees on our railroad to keep from the same incidents happening again.
With over 36 years in law enforcement, Ron brings natural and committed leadership to his job, as well as a calm demeanor when an incident occurs. Perhaps one of the best measures of Ron's success at the A&M can be seen in the way that management and employees alike are comfortable bringing a health, safety, or security issue to Ron's attention. It's clear that Ron's personal belief is that safety is a 24-hour concern.
I get the opportunity to drive my 13-year-old daughter to school every morning. And on their way to school, I give her tips on this is why you look this way and that way, that you got to watch the sun comes up over here so the sun will be in your eyes. There's opportunities for safety everywhere you go. I would have to say the hardest thing to change in the railroad industry specifically is the culture, because you have a whole host of people that have a get-it-done attitude, and we have those at our railroad. But what I had to add to that, from my perspective, was let's get it done safely.
Congratulations, Ron Sparks, 2016 Safety Professional of the Year.
I couldn't be more honored and privileged to present this award. Please welcome to the stage the Director of Safety and Training and Legal Affairs, as well as the Chief of Police for the Arkansas-Missouri Railroad, and my friend, Mr. Ron Sparks.
Good morning. I think I know how Sean Spicer feels about right now. But hopefully I have a little bit of a friendlier crowd here. I am so honored to be here, and I will humbly accept this award, this prestigious award, on behalf of my friends and coworkers at the Arkansas-Missouri Railroad. Obviously, without them, it wouldn't be possible. If you're wondering, you're sitting out there in the crowd and you're wondering, how do you get an award like this? I had to sit back and think about it myself, but it takes a team. You cannot do it by yourself. It's just impossible. As Keith said earlier, safety culture change, and how you do that, it takes time, but it takes people. I'm recalling back in 2007, I don't know where J.R. Gellner is, but I'm sure he's here somewhere. J.R. and I were invited by Tom Stryker to be on the Safety and Training Committee back in 2007. And boy, I don't think they realized what they were getting into by letting a couple old country boys like us on that prestigious committee. Look at you now up there in D.C. I don't know if you learned how to speak that language yet or not, but good luck with that. Anyway, we have learned so much. I will tell you this, that first meeting, when we were sitting in that meeting with those guys and gals that had so many years experience, we were like deers in headlights. We're amazed at the amount of information. And at the end of the meeting, we kind of chuckled and looked at each other and said, one day that will be us. And we will be mentoring folks behind us. And some of those folks are here today, and I want to thank them. I believe God puts us where He wants us, and you bloom where He plants you. And He planted me at the Arkansas-Missouri Railroad in 1998. I was supposed to be there for 6 weeks. I've been there 19 years. It's a little bit like Gilligan's Island, I think. Except it's a whole lot more fun. So I have some people to thank. You heard a little bit about my safety vision in the video, so I'm not going to go through that. But it was really important to me to thank folks, because you don't get here alone. There's nothing you can do by yourself. First of all, I'd like to thank God, because obviously without Him, none of this for me would be possible. As a man of faith, I believe that God watches out for me. He puts people in my life for this very day. He put people in my life to get me here, and I want to thank those people. First, my parents for teaching me the honor and hard work. They modeled that for me my whole life and still do to this day. I'm very blessed to still have them with me. My wife, Diana, who could not be here this morning, she in her own right is a very successful woman and very busy, but she takes care of me, and she stands behind me and beside me. The long hours, when we would go to a movie or a dinner, we'd drive separately, because I might have to go. I'm on duty 24/7. And so we have to prepare for that, and she puts up with that. Along with my phone, which she refers to as my mistress, because she sleeps on this side of me, and the cell phone's on this pillow. And on many occasions, she's threatened to make me go to another room because it goes off all hours of the night, weekends, and what have you. But that's my job, and I love it. And it does that because I tell everybody I meet, our employees, our contractors, our friends, my family, that if you can't get a hold of anybody else and you need something, whether it's work or whether it's personal, you can call me and I'll answer the phone. Unless I'm on a United Airlines flight. And I think I will not answer it then. Anyway, I do try to keep myself available because people do need someone they can talk to. They also need someone that they can talk to in confidence. That's the other thing that I believe is very important. If they ask me to keep it confidential, I will. But I can also make it happen. If they come to me with a problem, I will make it happen. And if I can't make it happen, we have got a whole team of people that can make it happen. I just got to pick the one person I need to make that particular thing happen. My children, one of which is here today, you got to see her on the screen there a moment ago. Angela, thank you for coming. I love you. And my other daughter, Madison, who could not be here, we've got a trip planned the end of this week, and I get to spend a lot of time with her, and I'm grateful for that. The job that I have, even though I am on call 24/7, does afford me a lot of the time to spend with my family at times of the day, like such when they have a play or something they're doing at school, which is awesome. I'd like to thank the ASLRRA Safety and Training Committee for accepting me as a member. To stand here in the shadow of the colleagues that have won this award before me. For those of you that don't know, every one of these men that are on here, and there are no women on here yet, but I suspect there will be, Teddy Maybrier, Mike Lindell, Tom Leopold. Let me tell you about Tom. When I first came into the safety industry, I went around, Tom Stryker encouraged us to start a safety committee. And I knew nothing about that because I came out of the law enforcement field. So I went around the country looking at other safety committees, and I met Tom at a conference in Dallas, and he was working for the Heil Group. And I had never met anyone as passionate about safety as Tom Leopold. And he is someone I call upon a lot when I need advice. And I always say I'd like to be like him when I grow up, except for the fact he's about 1.5 feet taller than me, and that's never going to happen. But he is always there, and something else he does. He will call me out of the blue and say, "Sparky, I was just thinking about you. How are you? What do you need? Is there something I can do for you?" And then I do that with people as well, and I've learned that from him. So thank you, Tom. J.R. Sampson, another good friend of mine and another previous winner. Same thing. I can call upon him or he calls upon me, and has given me over the years a lot of good advice. Tyrone James is another previous winner. And Gary Vaughn, the very first winner. I was teasing him the other day. I said, I think they need to rename this the Gary Vaughn Award because he is the model for what a railroad professional safety person is. I also have other mentors that are on this committee and that are on other committees. Mitch Harris, Tom Howie, and his daughter Sarah Lynn. I often go to them for advice. Judy Petrie, which is up here. I've talked to her many times over the years. She's given me very good advice. And this is what I'm talking about, mentors. You've got to reach out. On a small property like ours, oftentimes you don't have the resource that you need or the information. Reach out to the short line, one of these committees, whether it be the Safety and Training Committee, the Police and Security Committee, the Mechanical Committee. These folks have knowledge. The Legal Committee, Janet Gilbert is on that legal committee, and her and I have had many conversations, and she's answered legal questions and has not sent me a bill. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate that. And John Lord, our in-house counsel that is a dear friend of mine, and we have fought some battles of FELA. And much like today, you probably want me to stop. I'm going to tell you a really short story. I had an unfortunate attorney ask me a question in court one time, and it was an open-ended question, and I went on for 15 minutes answering it because it was just killing him. And when I went to take a breath, he said, "Are you finished?" I said, "No, but I'll stop." And the jury even laughed. So at that point, we knew we had won the case, and we did. I especially want to thank my friend Gary Vaughn, who has always been there for me, not just professionally, but privately. I mean, this man opened his home up to me when we had one of the worst times in our professional career. I went to his home, I discussed it with him. Him and Monica invited me in, and he gave me the advice I needed to get through that difficult situation. He also came, and this is a busy man. If you ever watch his Facebook page and see where he flies, he's everywhere. But he came and sat in the waiting room with my parents when I was undergoing a very serious surgery, and I didn't even know he was there, but until afterwards. So that's the kind of friend he is. And at the A&M, Brent, thank you for 19 years ago taking a chance on me and allowing me to do my job and teaching me all that you have over these years. I know you haven't taught me everything you know, because he likes to keep a little bit for himself, I think. But I couldn't retain it anyway. But I want to thank you so much for all that you've done, but mostly for allowing me to do my job. Because the most important thing you can do is surround yourself by competent people and then allow them to do their job. Allow them to do their job. If they're not competent, get rid of them. But if they are, let them do their job. And now, Karen, it falls to you. Pretty soon, Karen is in the process of moving to Arkansas. She has bought a house, and we're going to teach her how to speak Southern before it's over with. I'll guarantee it. But she is assimilating very well, and glad that you're there. And I look forward to working with you many more years, I hope, as long as you'll keep me. And again, I want to thank our co-workers that are back home. For without them, this can't happen, because safety is an every hour, every day, every week job. You cannot get a zero injury year by looking 3 months down the road. You get it by looking at the next minute, the next move, the next coupling. That's how you get it. And that's how you stay safe. And finally, I wish I could have done this a couple years ago, but Riley, this is for you. Thank you.